Hi, everyone. I'm glad we're here. What we're going to do today is a little bit to experience how to do that. Because remember, the idea is that this is what pushes me, that I want that as many people in the world will have framework of belonging. And I believe that community is the genius idea humankind created in order to do it. So what we will do it through few stages. First of all, the basic idea. Oh, I have to move. They don't see me. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe you'll tell him something. I don't know what to do with that. I have to move. Don't do the power. You have to. Okay, never mind. It's a workshop, so we'll manage. And you don't. So the first thing we'll do, we won't do just learning about community, we'll do it. So first of all, let's go to get to know the people who are here, right? So let's just introduce ourselves and say a word of who we are and how we feel. And okay? And you can say even why you came to this workshop. The lecture is beautiful, whatever. Okay? So let's start. So, pause. Okay, great. Thanks, Paz. Oh, sorry. Okay. 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 She has to say it again? Oh, okay. So, technology. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So wait. No microphone, you don't exist. Done. Okay. 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 Thank you.
My name is Ina, and I live in German community called Zeg, and I just love the issue, culture of belonging. That's what I want to create everywhere.
Great.
My name is Ruth, and when people ask me where I come from, I never quite know what to answer because I was born in England, and I lived in Kibbutz for many, many years, and then I moved from Kibbutz to live in Camphill in Norway. So I come from three countries, really, and possibly more. And even though after 25 years in community, my husband and I left community, our hearts are still very much in community. And I'm quite sure that for every age, from newborn babies till death, the community is the best place. So,
why are you here?
yeah, well, I know there are several workshops right now, but I'm a little tired of PowerPoint. Being led to PowerPoint presentations and workshops are definitely more my style. And I hear your dynamic and recommendations.
Thank you.
I'm Yuko from Japan. I'm a student of University of Tokyo, and I want to study about communities that I haven't started yet in my research. And yes, I came here because I listened your lecture yesterday, and I was very impressed, and I was encouraged to know there are many young people who are working towards building community. So yes, I want to know how
To do that. Great. For sure. We'll help you. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm part of Patel, the Jewish Intentional Community Incubator. So is our home now. And we're a network of Jewish communities around the world and that are young, grassroots, and emerging. And I started one of these communities myself called Fed in New York City, which is our consultative focus. And I came because Patel has benefited tremendously from Sara and knowledge and expertise, so I wanted to continue doing that.
Thanks.
I am Joe, Cole from North Carolina, United States, and I teach at a university in a peace and conflict studies. My background is in philosophy, but I do a lot of work with intentional communities around collaborative governance, facilitation, and conflict navigation. And one of the things I like to work with groups on is strengthening the community bonds. There's a lot of focus on first and conference, and sometimes always looking for tools, activities, magic spells that
Wow, beautiful. Excellent. Yo. Nice to meet you.
I'm Edna, and I come from England, community, community, and I'm here to talk with you before and interesting.
I'm Eldad Eliezer, husband of Edna, and we're from the Beachburg Brüderhof in England, about 250 people, part of the International Community Network. I just do. Beautiful thing about community is you get such a diverse collection of people here from all over the world, and you know that will happen when you get together and I'm from Renewal, and the head of the Institute for the Research of the Kibbutzim University of Tel. And I'm here because besides my academic interest, I'm also a kibbutz member, and I would like to reinforce or maybe learn new things that I don't know about community.
Thank you, Shlomo.
I'm Lori Weeks. I'm a professor at Dalhousie University in Texas. To be totally honest.
Hope you won't suffer. Okay, thanks.
My name is Anton. I am connected to the event in ICSA, Intentional Communities Desk, and I'm from Kibbutzim, the urban kibbutz in the north of Israel. I'm also here as the Zoom tech, which seems a bit redundant because currently we have no Zoom participants whatsoever, so it's just us. But I'm glad that I was assigned to be here and excited to be part of the conversation.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, no, I don't need it. So we will do it in 3 levels or stages. First, we'll start from our experiences because we have like a term which is beautiful in Hebrew to say the not smart, it's the cleverty of the community. Like the community is more clever than each one of the people in it. The wisdom. That's called excellent. Thank you. The wisdom of the community. So the wisdom of the group, the experiences you have that sometimes we don't have names to that, are the most important, crucial part of it. So we start from that. And after that, what the knowledge will do, I didn't invent anything. I'm just giving names to things we all feel as humans all over the world. And the other thing that is so important in giving names, definitions, is the definition helps us to transform it from intuitive thinking and doing to a systematic way. That's the only thing that I think that advantages of bringing it to as much people. And then people say, and through their, so I hope that the only thing that will happen to you that you will say, that's what happened to me yesterday with Eldad. It was the opposite. I heard Eldad yesterday and I went to sleep so happy because I said to myself, everything that I defined or definitions that are done, he said it, but on the opposite. He lived, so it was amazing. So thank you again. So what we'll start from the beginning. The first thing I want each one of you to do is to think about a group that was really meaningful for you. Okay, so each one of you take a minute, think about a group that was you. Okay, have it? Okay. So now what I want you to do is to think about why it was so meaningful. Means what did you feel that because of that it was so meaningful? Got it? Have it? The best was to write it. So if you want to write it, you're right. So if you have it, okay, so number one, what is the group? And second, what did you feel that made it so? And because of that, it was meaningful. Okay, got it? So now what we will do, we will split into, I will give you numbers, okay? You are with us? So yeah, okay. So I'm giving you, okay, so I'm giving you numbers. Keep your numbers, and then we split into 3 people in it. Want to sit with us? Yeah. It's better than you sit in my bag. Okay, so remember your number? We split into groups, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All number 1, all number 2. Split. Sit together. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And you'll get number 2, right? Who is number 2? Here, Shlomo, go. You can sit with Shlomo. Shlomo, just תכניס אותו לעניינים כי הוא רק הגיע, בסדר? Okay, so what do you need to do in your groups? The thing I would invite you to do in the groups, I'm sorry there are no Zoom people. It's easier. Okay. What? How can it be? No, here too. Here too. Okay, so what I want you to do in the groups, just tell the name of the group, what was it, and then what did you feel as a why? Okay, pay attention not to talk about why it happened. That will be number 2. Not now, just what you felt. Okay, and what was the kind of group? Go share. when you fit as quickly as you can. But okay, doesn't have to be long, but I'm not saying how much because I want it will happen. Okay, you finished, all of you? Okay. Okay, so let's go to the slideshow. I can help you with that. So where shall I do this? Okay, this. Oh, it's really complicated. I don't know how you do that. Yeah, yes, yeah, I agree. Okay, go. Let's go. We don't need these. This is the Excel. Okay. Very good. How many people talked to? Okay, that's it. Okay, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and we'll go back. Finished? Ah. Okay, let's go back. Stay where you are. You don't have to move. Okay, we have to go back because we'll do it back and forth. So we have to be really efficient in that. Okay, so I'm sorry if I stopped you, but we will do it more and more. So, okay, let's see. First of all, can we stop? Thank you. Okay, Elon. Okay, so now let's throw to the air the names of the groups. Say the groups that you all said that were meaningful. What was the name of the group? What was it? A basketball team? What was it? Kibbutz? Each one of you, which was it? Okay, great. In the kibbutz. Great. Great. Another one, just one example. Great. What else here? Just somebody? Volunteer here before the army, the group that did it. Here, somebody wants to say? Secular opinion. Late 60s. Okay. Yoko? So you can see, and I did it all over the world. People will say, my group in the academic world, my group of friends, it could be whatever. What I'm trying to say that it doesn't have to be a certain kind of group. It could happen everywhere. So now let's try to understand what did you feel? each one represent from every group, just say something about the common things that you felt, people felt, okay? Let's start from you. Can you share something from what all of you said that was common? Yeah. Alive, yes. Development of myself, yes. Appreciated. Okay, great. Please, Deborah, what you said in your group? Yeah. That's not a feeling. What you what belong. Okay, great. And other things that all of you said? Love. Excellent. Okay, Elon? Okay, never mind. We'll keep it to next time. Something in common here that you all felt? Freedom. Interesting. What else? Here? Inspiration. Okay, here? So what I want to do with you now is to give you what you all said are what we call develop the measurements of sense of belonging. So I want to give you 5 measurements of sense of belonging that are subjective completely, that are on the level of the individual or the individual group in the community. And then I'll give you 4 measurements of behavior. What happens when there is a high level of sense of community, what we call in Hebrew kilatiyut, then in the theory that I'm bringing you, strong community means only one thing, high level of sense of community. If you just make sure that you'll have high level of sense of community, you got it all. And I'm telling you, based on experience of the most maybe difficult times, even in Nepal after the earthquake, in Burundi, in Africa after tribes are fighting and killing each other, the Hutu and the Tutsi. And you can find them that whenever there is, and I want to show you that, okay? And then you go to ask how you do, okay? So let's see it for a minute. Oh, it's there. So wait, I'll do it. So you won't have to work so hard, but I can do it. Okay. So the question is, yeah, I'll do it. Oh, okay. So the question is, what transform a place in our world here to be a community? But I want to make it even more simplistic. And I use the word as a safe place, but I want to call it as a home, although community is not a big family. And there are 5 measurements for the feeling of a person. I matter, I'm committed, I belong, I trust, I'm proud. בעברית, I'll say just a minute in Hebrew, בעברית, קוראים לזה ממש, משמעותיות, מחויבות ושייכות ואמון. Now, before we'll try to understand it academically, let's go back to our experience. I want each of you think about one moment, a picture, like a story that the picture has, one moment in your life that you really felt you were very meaningful. Meaningful. I don't mean that you did to yourself something meaningful. You've been in a great trip. You heard a great lecture. No, that you felt you were meaningful. Got it? You have the picture? Just think about it for a minute. Got it? Just have to put the right lenses. Being here, all of you, mean you had thousands of moments like this in your life. So just, you have it. I'm just going through your eyes and see if you have it. Okay. Sorry. Have something? Yeah, okay. Okay. So what I want you to do now is to tell the story in the small groups. What was that moment that you felt so meaningful? The group that finished calls me. I'll give you mission number 2. Okay? Yeah. Share. No, it doesn't. Doesn't. There's nothing to do with it. Yeah, you can do both. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Finished? All of you? Oh, okay. Did you all said? Okay, great. So now mission number 2, try to think about what happened there that you felt you matter. You matter, you're meaningful. What happened? I'm giving you a clue. 2 things has to happen there. So try to think what is common to all the stories that made it possible for you to feel matter, meaningful. Hurry up. Next mission. You finished? All tell? Okay. So you second mission. Now I want you to think about all the 3 stories and think about what is common to them. 2 things had to happen that you will feel that you matter, that you are meaningful. What are the 2 things, 2 conditions that have to happen in each story that you have to feel in order that you will feel meaningful? Try to identify them. Got it? Mission number 2. Now to think about the 3 stories. You did it thousands of times already. So think about the stories and think about 2 things that had to happen, common to all the stories, that made it possible that you'll feel you matter. It's a clue. I give you a tiny clue that it has to be 2 things, but think about what's common that made it possible in each story that you felt matter, you felt meaningful. Got it? Okay, so now what I want you to think is think about clue, 2 things that each story has. Because of that, it made you feel that you matter, that you're meaningful. What are the 2 things? Finished? Okay, great. So now I want you to think about the three. Yeah, very. Just the last one. Doesn't matter. You do it deep. So think about the two themes. That's a clue. Each story has to have two elements that because of it, it's made possible that you will feel meaningful. What was the two things that happened there? Okay. I'm giving you 1 minute because time is running out. I'm giving you 1 minute and then we'll go back to the circle. Okay, let's go back. Just finish your last sentence. Even though you didn't do that, we'll do it together. Thank you. Okay. What happened there in all your stories, by the way, all over the world, when people feel they matter, what has to happen there that they will feel, that you will feel, that all of us will feel matter? What are the two things? Their action, okay, but not in the, it's not enough, right? Okay, whatever. What is it productive? What makes it productive? Okay, so I'll make it even a little bit more accurate. One is what you said of that, but it's something really important happen to somebody else. Either it's a group or something else. And number two, so maybe it's trust, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be trust. Maybe it's trust. But the second thing is that I was, because me, specific me was there. Something really important happened to somebody else. So now I want you to look about these. Can we go to another side? We talked now about the first one. And the meaning of that, going to trust, says, all what is written here, by the way, it's not characteristic of a person. It's a role of a community to make sure that that will happen to each one of us. And what does it matter to feel meaningful? I want to start from there to be matter. Feel free and send it all over the world. I want everybody in the world to know it. So number one is the meaning is that imagine that a whole community stands up and say, Deborah, we are so happy you are here with us. Without you, we weren't the same. That's feeling meaningful. It means in the deeper level that the things that I'm bringing as an individual or as a group, not just that the community is ashamed of it. The community says to us, wow, we're so lucky you have, because what you bring is a huge asset to our community. So being meaningful means that when I feel need can be a group of young people. We work in communities all over the world that the elderly or the young or the women felt that they are not seen at all, that the community is ashamed of them. And when I feel that what I bring is so powerful to the community, then I feel committed. I define committed as self-responsibility. Of course, I'm coming to arrange the chairs for the gathering. Of course, I'm voting for whatever. Of course, I'm bringing my knowledge. Of course, because I care. Because this place, number two, I belong. I feel part of. Belonging, in my understanding, as I defined it, is the feeling of ownership, the good sense of ownership on this place. This place is me. And because of that, I'm so proud. Being proud means that being part of this community become part of who I am in the world, part of my identity. And part of all of this is what you said beautifully, is about the trust. And I want to say something about trust. You know, we have two kinds of trust. One has nothing to do with community, and one is crucial for sense of belonging and for that sense of community. These two kinds of trust is the individual, is the specific trust. I trust Eldad. Can you imagine in your communities that I trust my neighbor or my friend or my family member, but I don't trust anybody else in the community? Can you see a situation like that? Of course. Because that's not community. That's not sense of community. Sense of community is what we call generalized trust. It means that I know that I live, although I didn't experience it on myself, I know that I live in a place that people are there for each other. And what happens in generalized trust, that because of that, I want to continue that. So I start to behave like that. So it in a way shapes my behavior. And I'm not, and feeling the general trust, that's exactly the explanation for security, for feeling secure. And I want to give you two examples for security, real ones from communities. One, why I will send my kid to the kindergarten or the playground in the community, in the sphere, the public sphere we live in. Only in two conditions. That I know, that I feel in a place that adults won't hurt children. And number two, that if something will happen to her or to him, somebody will know what to do. They won't be neglected. That's one level. Another level of feeling security is not this kind. It's the kind that I enter with my child, with my, I don't want to say crazy, but misbehaved child, whatever, to the public sphere. And I'm telling him, shut up, behave, because I'm so afraid what people will tell about and what kind of mom I am and what kind of child. Or I enter and he can be whatever he wants to be, because another person can say to him, okay, Aaron, stop now, and it's okay. Somebody will say. That's also security. And security is being able to bring the cake that I don't know if I did a good cake, but it's okay because I'm appreciated just for bringing. And it's not a competition between. So these all levels of trust in order to feel. So these are the measurements of the level. By the way, we developed a tool. We know how to measure it. We developed a tool in Israel for mayors in Israel, how to actually measure the level of sense of community in their cities, in the neighborhood. So after they finish, won't be just about, I think you said it, the physical part, how much money they did, but how much people feel that sense of community. Okay, that is the security of this community. Now I want to give you, let's go, the 4 measurements that what happens when we have a high level of sense of community, you will find these. And by the way, we have it happened in different places in the world. So I want to start with retention. People will come more. They won't leave so quickly. Because even if the services are not so big, it's me. So I'm ready not to get the best services, but I have here something that it's much more important than that. So people will come in. Number 3, I'm doing in this direction. They will give more money, time, knowledge, whatever they have. They want to give. Number 3, collaboration, not in the sense of all these tools of collaboration. Collaboration, deep understanding who we are. Everything that we're doing, I want to do together. So if I got a responsibility, I want to do it with somebody else with me. So doing things together is part of who we are. That's what we do here. Initiative is the last thing I want to say because it's not like increasing. In order to create initiatives, think about what's the determination of initiative. Initiative is things that are happening now and it didn't happen before. In order that the community will encourage members to initiate new things, they have to feel very secure because you are evaluated not for the result, but for the intention. And an atmosphere that pushes people for being evaluated for the intention and not the result will create more sense of community, more opportunities for people to bring themselves. Got it? Okay. So now the big question okay, let's go. I don't know what to do because we don't have a lot of time. What I want to say that just what I told you now is we can use it in two ways. It's sense of community. Before we talk about how we do it, it could be a culture of organization, and it could be our purpose when creating groups like that. So not every place, if I would ask you what the connection between community and sense of community, I'll ask, you know what, let's do it as an exercise. I'll ask you these two questions. Can sense of community can be created in a place which is not a community? And is a community can be a community without sense of community? Got it? So what's the connection between community and sense of community? Answer. Share. But you have 2 minutes because we have to finish, and I have so much more I prepared as usual, not realistic. So what would you say about this community? Sorry? Okay, I have it in a minute, but I don't. But okay, but let's agree, even in your definition, can it be? So I'm asking you, actually, if you take all the communities in the world, do they have different levels of sense of community? Exactly. And if, exactly. But it is a community, because what I'm trying to tell you, that communities are not just a value term. For professional people, community is to define what is the structure. And then when you can take the communities, you ask, oh, this is an unfunctioning community. So we have to work there. And more than that, I'll tell you, when we go all over the world, we try to average what's the level of sense of community. And our role, our expertise in Barter Center is to arouse the level of sense of community. And by the way, you know, the big secret, to take it from 2 to 5 is much more easier to take it from 8 to 9. 10 is not there in the world because it's endless, right? Like justice, like everything else. There's not a community that it's 10. I never believed it. So why I'm saying it, because I want to go to what you just said. I want to give you, because we really have 5 minutes. So is it okay? So is it okay to stay until 1:45? If not, so is it okay? Okay, so we'll continue. If somebody needs break and wants to leave, you can free. By the way, you don't have to wait until you can leave whenever you want. I'm not insulted at all. You see? I know. Just I know. I was just laughing. Okay, let's continue. So I want to go now, and before I'll tell you how to do it, I want to go to what you said. I want to share with you that what we need to do so people will feel what we feel. And what I'm trying to say, that sense of community, before I'll go there, I just want to finish what we just said. Sense of community became in the world now a huge trend. The high-tech companies, I know we in Barter Center are all the time invited to work with the high-tech companies. And we just invited a year ago to work with 100 the best CEOs of the best, I don't know if the best, but the CEOs of the largest economic companies, because they want to try and create culture of belonging in their organization. Why? Because they know what you all know, that the moment a person feels meaningful, they are very committed, and they feel that the company is theirs and the profit are, right? So we create an atmosphere which is great, Google and whatever. So what I'm trying to say that sense of community or culture of belonging, as you call it, can be a tool. So, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that Google became a community. Let's not mix with that. Not every place that creates sense of community becomes a community. So I want to define now what is community in my approach, the approach I'm bringing you. What is the uniqueness of it? So I want to start and say community is not a big family and it's not a small organization. It's something different in its essence. It's in its essence. And the moment we understand it, we know how to do that. Why and what? Let's go. What makes community so unique? This is the only group in the human world that the mission and the relationship are on the same time the purpose of this group and the meaning of it. It's not like in the Google that relationship is the tool to make profit. And it's not like in the family that relationship are the reason for being, okay, or like group of friends. Community is the only place where the relationship and the mission are on the same time, the huge power of it. So in community, when we have people who want to deal with our relationship all the time, they are a huge essence. In Google, when there is a person who wants to deal all the time with the relationship, he wasting the time, right? And in our families or in a group of friends, when we want to deal with a mission, we came to rest, give us a break, just came to be together. But in community, these two voices that many times looks contradictory are necessary to existence of the group. And the dangers of the community is either became too family and people start to relate to each other by cliques and loyalties, or it's too mission oriented and the members become soldiers of the mission, or we call it volunteers. In my theory, volunteerism is not part of community. We have membership, not volunteers. Volunteerism relates to a world of services, not for community relationship. Now I want to say another word about what is communal relationship. Because we have relationship all over. We have them in the bank, we have them in the school. What makes so unique the communal relationship that because of that we feel so matter and so first of all, I brought the definition for community as I understand it, and as I defined it as a tool for me to work in the world. And no, go back. So I'll just read it for a minute. A group shaping together individual and together individual, I don't know, it's a mistake, and shared values and practices of life, both internally and with their surrounding, feeling sense of belonging, that's the one that we talked, responsibility for the members of the group and for the general common good of the whole, based on the 3 dimension of sport mission study. Community, oh, thank you. Yeah, go. Community, on the contrary to other groups, has 3 areas that they do things together. They have a shared spirit, vision, or what we call collective identity. They work in it. They talk about it. They check it once in a while. They are dealing with it. Number 2, relationship. We'll talk in a minute. What are communal relationships? They have structure for them. They have traditions for that. And they have a mission. It could change, but they have something they are doing together. Go. Thank you. So now let's talk about what is communal relationship. What is so special? First of all, it's face-to-face contact. Even if we are 1,000 families, at the end, for each one of the members of the group, there is a group of people that they interact on daily basis or interact face-to-face. And for them, the whole community, meaning we belong to that subgroup that for them is the big community. Number 2, that we share, we are equal in what we bring to each other. that everybody has the equal voice to affect and to improve the community. Number 3 is that the relationship are multidimensional. It means that in community, I want people to react to everything that I am. For example, that when I'm entering the room or wherever, people will come to me and say, we know you know how to sing. Are you ready to sing? How would I feel in the community if they will come to me only when they want lectures about leadership? How would I feel in the community? Used. But if in my college, in my teacher training college, the president will come to me every time he wants a lecture on leadership, how would I feel? Proud. Because in the workplace, it's one-dimensional. It has to be like that. But in community, I want them to see me as a mother, as a wife, and whatever. All my skills. I want to bring everything that I have, and I want to see being seen by them. Number 4 is that we actually share more than one aspect in our life. In community, if we talk about how a bicycle group becomes a community, is when they start to do more than one thing together. So they moved from just riding a bike together to actually celebrating birthday. And at the end, they will be there for each other when somebody is wounded or whatever. So in community, or when we start to talk about community, it's when people start to share more aspects of their life. And number 4, 5, or whatever, is that in community, we have rules and structure. It means, and I want to touch only one point, leadership in community is a role. It's not a person. And we better move there as soon as possible. Okay, so we have roles. So when I'm the leadership, or let's say I'm in the committee that organized the ceremony. So I'm the only one, I'm a team. Our team got the responsibility and the authority on the name of the community to handle its issues around these ceremonies. So when we go. Okay, so what does it mean, community building? What do we build? Go. Don't have time. So culture of belonging, you want to read it for a minute? I'll read it. Framework for strengthening belonging, commitment, and shared purpose for all. We need both groups, organization, of course. Go. No. Go back. I don't remember. I wait. Oh, go more. Yeah, that's. So what does it mean to build? What's community building? What do we build? What the community builder leave behind her when she finishes? What is the measurements of success? So remember, we want to create for the project I'm bringing to you, sense of community is the most important part of the community. That's the existence. That's the security. That's everything. And so what we want to leave behind us are structure, frameworks, roles, committees that actually shape the collective identity. And through that, people feel belong and have the opportunity to do that. So what I want to do now, do you have any questions? Because if not, I want to show you the 10 commandments of community building. And if we'll have time, we'll make a work with it. Is it okay? Somebody will help you. We'll be there. Yeah. And please use it. Use it and bring it all over. If you need help, call me. Okay, so let's go to the 10 commandments. I call it, I love it. Like, look at the cultural aspect. When as I told you, we work all over. So when we started working in the United States, you couldn't use the word commandment. It was too, and in Hebrew, I love it. When I say aseret hadibrot, metal. But in America, you couldn't do that at all. So it was interesting how to use different cultures. So listen, I know it's a lot, but I'll tell you what work we'll do with it, okay? Or I offer you to do in your communities already from tomorrow morning. I'll just read with you. Before I read it, I specifically did it this way. So it has just a bold verb. Okay, just look at the verb, just the verbs. Build, include, create, connect, invite, assign, develop, focus, distinguish, establish. Just saying that, we said community building. And even if you take it and you understand it the way, you can't make more wrong. Although I have to tell you that yesterday I saw the presentation about WeWork, and I saw what Adam Newman wrote about his life, about the houses he built, and I was devastated. I thought to myself, wow, you can use words, saying the same words, probably he would sign every word and do such disaster with it. So I'm not sure anymore that I'm saying that take the, what? Hilul mamash. Yes. I'm so glad you said it. For me, I'm so glad you said it. There's no really meaning to that. For me, I'll tell you more than that. The definition for community and intentional community for me is completely the same. Just for you, the conference on intentional, I wrote intentional. Because for me, every community is a mission community, is that. And a group of young people that I escorted, I told the story of them yesterday in Lod, and before that it was in other cities as well. There was one moment they called me and they asked me, Sale, but if we want to build a kindergarten, and is it a mission? Or somebody, a rabbi asked me in the United States, if I might want to make sure that my synagogue is a real community, not just a place to give services of religious, is it a mission? Yes. I think that the moment a community starts to take care just for itself, starts the end of it. Because it's just a matter of time when taking care, the question who we are will start inside. I think that communities that don't do that, even though they are not intentional, I don't think there is a community which is not intentional. I'll give you a story about it. We came to Nepal, work in a village in Nepal. When I came to Nepal, to the village, they didn't know that they are a community. They didn't function as a community. Each one of them were separate completely. There was huge argument, and for me, a village is a community. So what we had to add there is these lenses of intention, being aware of this culture of belonging and the intention to be a community. So in order to create a community, you need this awareness. So for me, when I need to transform a city to be a community or I don't want to say, or a group, the first thing is the intention. And so what I want to do with you now, oh, we have 5 minutes. So I'll tell you what I suggest. I'll take only one thing, for example, but I'll tell you what I would do with you if I would come to your communities and work with you. The first thing I would do, not here, I will learn, that's the stages. First of all, I learn the place, we learn the place. What is the collective identity of the place? We can take all the communities in the world and put them on one continuum on the kind of collective identity they have. We have communities that are much more individual in their culture and communities that are much more collective in their culture. So we don't want to change them. We want to work through their characteristics. That's number one. Number two, I would try to measure what is the sense of community there and where it is stuck. What makes it only 2, 3, 4 and not 10? The moment I realize where it's stuck, that connection between communities, between the people who established and the people who are there, it's all about relationship and the mission. Then I will give them parts of this. We will do this. We'll take just this. Just take this. Go back to your communities and ask yourself, 3 questions. Okay? That's what I offer you practically tomorrow morning. The moment you are here and the moment you want to be, what from all of these 3 things, 3 questions, what from these you are doing amazingly and you want to keep it in the next stage? You're doing it perfectly. And that's exactly the way you have to continue. Okay? Number 1, what you want to keep. Number 2, what you want to leave behind. You look at this and you say, wow, this we're doing terrible. We're actually doing the opposite. We want to be a strong community. Let's leave it behind. Number 3, when we look at these, we ask yourself, oh, we didn't do that until now. Well, what we want to review, what we want to add, so what we want to keep, what we want to leave behind, and what we want to renew. So just take number 1 is that every individual in the community has to belong to a subgroup, something, a team, a group, something. Ask yourself. And when people not willing to pay, not willing to join, don't ask, say, oh, they are the bad guys. No, tell yourself what we didn't do as a community, that because of that, they didn't want to take part. It always depends on what you are doing. Not that that's reality, but I think the intention is more important than the result. So let's act in the world as if everything depends on us, knowing that nothing depends on us. Okay, so the last thing we'll do, we have 4 minutes. I prepared you a small present at the end for inspiration. So before that, what I want to do is like what we call it a circle of closing. I want each one of you to say a word or a sentence. It's something you take from here. Something from what happened here, a person you knew, new things you learned, something that either you feel now or you think now. Okay? Got it? You can say everything you want. Oh, who wants to start? And you don't have to say. I'll go through, I'll look at your eyes. If you want, you can share. If not, it's okay. Okay? So, בבקשה. Thank you. Clarification. Okay. That. And just number 1. Imagine what will happen until number 10. Okay, thanks. Yoko? You don't have to if you want. We'll come back if you want. Oh, good done. We said it in the we said it in the beginning. Thank you. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Now the present, it goes exactly to where Edna said. It's beautifully. So I want to quote somebody. Yeah. So I want to read you something from our Jewish tradition. The Rabbi Soloveitchik, I love it. So I'll read it, and it's exactly what you said. The individuals belonging to it's part of a big a book and an essay. The individuals belonging to the community complement one another existentially. Everyone possesses something unique, rare, which is unknown to others. Everyone has a unique message to communicate, a special color to add to the communal spectrum. Hence, when an individual joins the community, they add a new dimension to the community awareness. They contribute something which no one else could ever contribute. They enrich the community existentially. They are irreplaceable. Good luck. And do community, community, community. Thank you for the time. Hamud. Anton. What? Oh. Oh, wait. I have a present for all of you. It's exactly that. Edna, you see? You every time. It's for all of you.